Welcome everyone to our preview of this year's Changing Currents in Employment Law, the DC Bar CLE on October 26th this fall. I'm Scott Oswald. I am faculty chair of Changing Currents in Employment Law, and today for our preview we have with us Jim Coleman. He is a partner at Costangy Brooks, Smith and Prophete, and he is going to be moderating a panel about time Virginia raises the stakes dramatically on wage and hour claims. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm doing well. Tell us a little bit about your panel and your co-panelist.
Yes. This is going to be a panel with a perspective from the defense bar, and that will be me, and from the plaintiff's bar, and it will be Mark Hanna. And the two of us will cover all the new wage and hour laws that have arisen in the last 18 months or so in Virginia, and try to give everybody the perspective from both sides.
So I've heard and read that the new wage and hour laws are revolutionary for Virginia. And, sometimes when I read that, something like that, I know, I think it's an exaggeration, Jim, but for Virginia, it actually might hit the mark, right?
I would agree completely. That is not an overstatement. Up until recently, Virginia generally has not been a state that was very active in putting out employee favorable legislation, whether really anywhere in the employment arena, whether it be discrimination, wage and hour, whatever. And starting about a year and a half ago, things changed very dramatically in Richmond. And there's a whole new host of employment laws now on the books.
So if I attend Changing Currents this fall and I'm listening to your panel, what are maybe one or two things that I'm going to take away from it?
What I would like to do is focus a bit on the overtime law, because previously there was no overtime requirement under Virginia law. Employers simply had to deal with the requirements of federal law, the Fair Labor Standards Act. Now employers in Virginia need to be concerned with both the Fair Labor Standards Act and Virginia law. And make no mistake, there are differences in Virginia law. There are less exemptions from overtime under the Virginia law than under the federal law. There are greater remedies, and there are procedural advantages, all that favor employees.
So what kind of advice are you giving your employer clients right now who are operating in Virginia, Jim?
It's a good question. And what I'm trying to do is highlight the changes, highlight the differences, what they can no longer do in Virginia. I have a lot of clients that are multi-state, and so they have a tough job of trying to comply with. There's no federal preemption in the wage and hour area at all, so they've got to always stay on their toes with regard to state law requirements. So I'm trying to make sure they understand the differences, how Virginia law is more narrow in terms of exemptions, and then a little bit of a lesson on why they don't want to be a defendant in a Virginia state court in a wage and hour lawsuit.
Jim, thank you. And we look forward to seeing each of you at this year's Changing Currents in Employment Law, Tuesday, October 26th at 6 p.m. We look forward to seeing you then.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.